We have upper one today, and as always, you guys are probably getting bored of me saying it, but we're starting the session with abs. We all want good abs, but most of us aren't putting good, hard sets into abs. So how do you actually expect them to, actually progress, look better, grow? So that's exactly what we're doing. We're starting with abs. We've got 2 sets in ab crunch. It's just nice, easy machine just to progress, quick to set up, quick to get done. The least amount of resistance, which means, the consistency and adherence is going to be highest. That's something that I think a lot of people need to think about. So I'm going to come in, do 2 sets in this, and then I'm going to get stuck straight in.
Don't let it pull you, push you around. Shut your mouth.
Something really important, guys, is on this machine, I see so many people literally just use momentum and using their arms. With the handles, you're meant to be holding that against you, and then you actually think about crunching with your abs. They see a lot of guys literally trying to do like a skull crush and pull it forward, and it will completely change it. So just try to keep the reps smooth. Try not to use too much momentum bouncing out the hole. You can see I'm trying to spend a bit of time in that stretch, control it, a bit of time in the squeeze, and honestly it makes a massive difference. You will have to use less load, you will have to keep your ego in check, but at the end of the day, are we bodybuilders or powerlifters, So yeah, productive set there. So first exercise on the upper body going in, we have a single arm prime lateral raise. One of my favorite machines right here. I'm doing this single arm just because I find actually I can align better with the machine. I think when I'm doing the unilaterally, I can really set myself up. I get a little bit more length on my shoulder. So if you're thinking about when you're doing it dual-handed, you kind of have to stop here. But if you're leaning into it a little bit, your arm can almost come round a little bit more. What we've done as well, as you'll see in a minute, is we've loaded set in 3. So what that basically means is it drops off where it's heavy. So we're strong at this part of the motion and we're weak up here. So we're going to load it heavier here. That drops off there. So it's just one smooth movement. What's also nice about this is you're actually loading it a bit higher up on your arm, which you don't usually do. Like if you're doing cuffs further down, lateral raises would be further down. So I really like this machine. We're actually running 3 sets in this because delts are a bit of a priority for me. And starting with delts, again, you're going to get your shoulders warmed up, that when it goes into pressing, a lot of times they can feel, lubricated and ready for pressing. Some people have shoulder issues, and I found with a lot of clients, if you program actual shoulder exercises first, they feel a lot better in pressing and just genuinely improve. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. Another set there, very good set there, 1 rep up. I'm not sure if you can notice in the video, but what I am actually trying to do on this, guys, is drive that elbow up first. So I'm thinking elbow up and the hand just follows. You don't want this turning into a bit of a flappy movement. You see some people just drive the hand up and let the elbow drop down, and you're just basically going to come off your lateral delt and move a little bit more to the front delt, and it's just some upper back muscles. So elbow up, thinking about driving that elbow out and wide, okay? And that's how you can really stay on the lateral delt. That was a good set. Shoulders are pumped already. Well, one side is anyway. Next up, we have hammer strength flat press. I quite like this machine actually, because you get a lot of flat presses that don't converge and they never feel as good for me. So this one, you get a big stretch, converges in, so you get that chest fully short. We are a little bit limited with presses in this gym. So this is one of my go-tos. So just starting off, like I said, with a flat press, something get a nice stretch, converges, you can load up pretty well. So next up, we have the prime pec fly. Absolutely best pec fly there is out there, in my opinion. Again, changing that resistance profile. So the strength curve matters massively on these kind of exercises. You know, on most pec flies, you get to here, you're trying to get that end bit of the motion, that squeeze, get the chest fully short really hard. And on this, you can actually change that. So the end point, you know, is actually lighter. So that's what we've done. We've loaded the first half of the movement heavier, so it drops off in the squeeze, which matches that strength profile. So we have set in reloaded. Okay, and we've got 2 sets on this. So what you've noticed is we've gone from a press that, you know, comes in, converges and gets the chest fully short, and now we're moving into a little bit more of a chest isolation, trying to take the triceps out of it. So next up, we have cross-body extension. So we're moving on to 2 tricep exercises now, and you will notice that triceps come in for my full work in the session. Reason being, you know, all my push muscles, chest, shoulders, triceps, they're some of the biggest priority to me. So I need to have my training tailored for that, you know, if I want to bring them up. So triceps are coming earlier on in the session to make them a bit more of a priority, and we're starting off with cross-body extension. So we're going to be challenged at shorting range a little bit more, and then the next exercise after this is actually going to be overhead extension, which we do on the same machine, time efficient, and that'll be actually challenging the length and range. So that and some of the presses I've done, which would be like mid-range for triceps, so complete tricep workout. One thing you can notice when I'm doing that is there isn't too much elbow movement. Typically, I see a lot of people let their elbows kind of come forward, and you're kind of changing the emphasis here. Like, what we're trying to do is change the arm angle. So, you know, get the triceps fully long and fully short. And if your arm angle's moving with that, it's changing what you're actually doing. So fix them elbows, allow the hand to travel up and the squeeze right the way down. If you're kind of coming forward, and it ends up looking like this, look at that arm angle difference compared to whether it's like this. Something to keep in mind. Moving on to back, we're starting with an upper back row. So we're doing upper back, and then we're going to go into a lat movement. Lat's a big strong point for me. So, you know, if I'm going to prioritize the order, then this is the reason I'm doing it. I need more upper back. So we're going to take an overhand placement here, which just allows those elbows to flare up and out a little bit more. So you're going to get a little bit more kind of rhomboid, trap, rear delt, which is kind of what I want from this. So just running 2 quick sets, and then we'll get into the next movement, which will be a single arm row, which will be the opposite, really trying to keep that elbow tucked tight to our body and driving it down towards the hip. Okay, so that's going to be the difference between, you know, what muscles that you're, you know, targeting and not. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. So finishing with some behind the back curls, one of my favorite bicep exercises. You're really gonna load the bicep in that length and range, which isn't something you typically do quite a lot. So what you wanna think about doing is really letting them arms hang back and just closing that gap. So you don't want to be driving that elbow forward. You know, you're gonna start to get some shoulder in and that. So just let them elbows hang back and close that gap. And you're gonna notice that the hardest bit is actually in the beginning range. And like I said, on a lot of bicep movements, it's usually hardest to get the squeeze, whereas this is actually hardest just in the lengthen, so it's quite unique. So yeah, let's get some good sets in. With these ones, I'm always stopping slightly short of failure, just because I do have a tiny niggle in that left elbow, and I can just feel it pulling just slightly when I do that. So just to be safe, I'll always leave that one fully, just slightly short.
Guys, so that is the wrap of the upper session. Hopefully you guys are taking some value from this. Hopefully you guys are seeing, you know, what I'm thinking about, why I'm thinking about that, how it works for me, you know, and it's the same instances that I apply for other people and my clients. You know, your training should be built around you and your goals. So I'm just going to finish off the session with a few rounds of posing. This is something I'm doing after pretty much most of my upper body sessions, just making sure I'm staying consistent with my posing, because it is one thing that your stamina just plummets when you don't do it. Even when you're doing cardio, it's not, you want it to be specific to the posing, you know. So a couple of rounds to finish and we're getting home to eat. So guys, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and please, if you have any questions, please drop me a DM on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to help.